Yesterday, Field Yates tweeted out and said, beginning today and spanning until March 8th, NFL teams have the option to use the franchise tag on one pending free agent. Names to monitor include Packers wide receiver Davante Adams, Bengals safety Jesse Bates, Patriots cornerback J.C. Jackson, and Chiefs outside tackle Orlando Brown Jr. So, what will the Chiefs do? I want to talk about it, but first, how about those? Hey, if you're watching this and are as big of a Chiefs fan as I am, hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on so that you can stay in the know with daily news about our favorite team. All right, so let's talk franchise tags. If you aren't aware of what that even means, the franchise tag in basic terms can be explained as follows. It is a fully guaranteed one-year contract that teams use to keep one of their unrestricted free agents from hitting the open market. Ideally, the use of the tag buys a club more time to reach a long-term contract with its franchise player. However, theory and practice tend to differ from time to time. From a player perspective, after all, the tag offers limited long-term security despite being a guaranteed contract. This leads to players sometimes not signing it and skipping parts of off-season workouts or training camp or even the regular season. For example, Pittsburgh Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell. Meanwhile, teams shy away from using the tag because of the massive salary cap hits associated with it. The current CBA allows for each team to use the franchise or transition tag only once, even though teams can rescind it before the aforementioned mid-July deadline. Every team has only one shot at naming a franchise player, and there are different types of tags teams can use, though the most common is the non-exclusive franchise tag. If you want to know more details on the difference in the tags teams can use, I'll link an article in the description for further review. In 2022, the deadline to come to terms on a contract extension with tagged players is when the new league year starts on March 16th. If both parties can't agree to terms on an extension, they must wait for the following offseason. The Chiefs have used the franchise tag on many players over the years, including Chris Jones in 2019, I believe, Dee Ford, Eric Berry, Justin Houston, Tony Gonzalez, among others. So my question to you all is, who will that player be, if at all, this year? Last year, the Chiefs did not franchise tag any player, but I do think they will use it this year. I feel like Orlando Brown Jr. makes the most sense. Tyrann Mathieu comes to mind, but I do not think he would like that at all. I don't think that would happen. He's either going to work out a deal, maybe a 3-year contract, but hopefully only the first 2 years are guaranteed, or we let him go, save the money. As a reminder, during Brett Veach's presser a few weeks ago about Orlando Brown Jr., he said this: those are always unknown. I think that when you have a player come in here and when he loves being here, and I think when the coaching staff and the personnel staff feel the same way, it's always easier to get something done when players see a place like Kansas City as a long-term place for them to potentially start and finish their career. So when you get a guy like that, Orlando Brown, the trade happens, and I think everything he wanted from this experience in regard to playing left tackle, playing in Kansas City, playing with Patrick Mahomes, I haven't asked him this directly, but I would say it's been exactly what he's wanted. I think we've been looking for a tough, rugged, dependable left tackle protecting Pat Mahomes. So I think when you have that scenario play out where the player loves the team and the team loves the player, I think things are always more likely to work out. That element will be something that we iron out. It'd be beneficial for us because it allows us to do more things. I think many good teams are in the same scenario. We're okay. We're not rolling into the offseason with a ton of cap space. We have some moves to make. The cap has grown. I know that there's numbers thrown out there and people think that it's a bigger number, but I think we were hoping for a little bit bigger. The big question is the growth from 22 to 23. That also plays a factor into how we structure contracts and how cash flow is different in years. There's an element of that that's unknown. The knee-jerk reaction is to see TV deals and say the cap's just going to balloon. We can continue to hope for that. It's a good reality, though, that it won't happen. It'll be much more gradual of an increase in the cap. So those are some of the things we work through the next few weeks, trying to acquire as much information as we can It'll help guide us in what we do, but I'd love to sit here and say the cap is going to balloon to an astronomical number in 23 and do all these things, but my gut tells me that will not be the case. It'll be much more gradual, and we'll have to also utilize that into our equation and how we approach the offseason. I know that was a lot, but there's context there into how Veach is going to be processing things this offseason and could even handle how he does the franchise tag and all that stuff. So upon rereading that, I do suspect them to tag Brown for a year and then work something out for the long term after this season. I, of course, could be wrong, and that's where you all come in. What are your thoughts on all of this? Do you think Orlando Brown Jr. gets tagged, or do we work something out for the long term now and get the long term left tackle situation taken care of immediately? Get that secured. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to read them. Some of you in the comment section honestly have great insights, and I do enjoy reading those. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more content like this. I post daily news about the Chiefs, and I'll be doing news like this all year long. So until next time, Chiefs Kingdom, let's go. How about those